Hey everyone, Matt here on another edition of Ask Ron. Ron, Barbara, Jay, how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. Here in Jacksonville, Florida, beautiful weather, and we're right here right slap dab in the middle of Quick Start.
That's right.
Yes. Awesome.
Got a bunch of excited people. Couldn't ask for better weather than we got here right now.
That is for sure.
So you snowbirds, eat your heart out.
All right, we have quite a few questions today, so we'll go ahead and jump right into it. The first few are from Tony and Angie up in Ohio.
Good for them.
Hello, Tony.
Big surprise.
Another question.
All right, their first question is, do you have plans to make your wonderful book, Lessons Learned, available on Kindle? I want to be able to easily keep it with me.
Well, golly, I never had that question before.
In fact, Ron, I can probably take that one. Yes, it will be on Kindle soon. Don't you worry, guys. It'll be on
You
soon.
write that
Thanks,
down,
Matt.
don't forget it. Are the other two on Kindle?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm sure they are.
All right, I'll follow up with that one too. All right, moving on to the next question. They say, on a previous Ask Ron episode, you said that the VAs could call for rent by owners for us to see if they are open to selling. Is this still something they can do for us?
I did not say that. I never told you that our VAs would call a list. We only talk to people that we know have a house for sale. There are companies that will call that list, such as Lead Mining Pros. That's what they do. They cold call list. I guess all they do is cold call list of people with a house for sale, with the people with a house, but they still don't know they're for sale.
All right, sounds good. Moving on to their next question. Are you planning a Black Friday sale for some of your courses? Asking for a friend.
You usually do.
I usually do, but it's not me. That would be Nick and Debbie to do that.
I have a feeling we're gonna have another Black Friday sale.
Look forward to it.
Mhm.
It'll probably be there.
Yep, that's right. All right. Their next question is, a couple has contacted us that had equity they need in order to buy another house. I told them I might be able to help them if they got a HELOC and the payment was reasonable. In other words, it would cash flow. Any other considerations in this situation?
I don't know whether getting a HELOC would be better than just refinancing the whole thing. I'd have to do some comparison of the math to figure that out. But I do know if you put a HELOC on it and then another person buys it, you stand a larger chance of the bank calling the loan due if they found out that it was sold. But
Better to refi.
that's the only way they're going to get their cash out of it. I mean, from you.
All right, there you go, Tony and Angie. Their next question is, thank you for reestablishing the Quick Start Facebook group. How would you like to see it being used beyond what we're doing with the Gold Club Forum? This is the private Quick Start alumni Facebook group.
I know what it is. Yeah. I don't know how to answer that. I just assumed that it would be used for all of our graduates to be able to communicate with each other and swap lies and so forth.
Your stories.
Pretty much what they are. Yeah, stories. And it's a good thing because it helps to stay in a group like that to pump you up and let you know you're not out there all by yourself, which is the only reason we reinstated it.
Yep, that is for sure. All right.
So I let them answer some questions here. What else?
Stealing the show, Ron. All right. Their next question is, in your great packing on finding quality leads, you debuted a 8-minute explanation video for sellers on how we buy houses. Have you marketed it, and what have been the results? Any lessons learned from it?
What the heck are they talking about? I don't remember an 8-minute video made for sellers.
Well, Ron, you have made a lot of videos.
Yes, a lot of videos on the Gold Club. It's probably on the Gold Club.
But made for sellers to read or watch?
No.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
yes, you did. You made a video, and Tony did the voiceover that explained terms. Remember that one? That explained terms that they can use, that they can send to sellers or
I don't remember doing that video. I mean, it's probably only done a couple thousand more on mine.
Only a couple thousand.
I don't remember that video, I swear. But
It
no,
had-
I have no plans to do anything with it. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. It's a great one though. It explains all the terms, and that's for sellers.
Well, then why can't they take it and use it?
They do, and they're supposed to, and it's available to you, and all you have to do is change the contact information in the end, and it's for you.
Was that what I did?
Yes, you did.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. There's the answer. I'm glad she's here.
That's right. All right, we're coming up.
Where is that video at, though? It's on the Gold Club?
It should be on the Go
Yes.
Club.
Under what? Resources or training?
I would say resources.
Any
I'll-
idea what it's called?
No, but Tony and Angie, I'll do some digging and I'll respond to your question with the URL of the video.
Let them do the digging and come back and tell us.
All right,
How about
even
that?
better.
Huh?
That sounds good to
You
me.
did.
Matt, that's called delegation.
You did the wording of the video, and Tony did the voiceover, and so when you hear Tony's voice, then you'll know it's the right one.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we've come to our last question from Tony and Angie. This one's kind of a long one. They say, when making the decision to go to a seller's home that is owned free and clear, is that only based on their willing to do terms with no down payment? Or should I have done some homework before I make the closing call to determine what selling price makes sense based on comps, what monthly payment will give me the desired cash flow, and of course, a term of at least 5 years, and then allow them to make me offers using the $1 million script that meet my desired numbers?
You absolutely should do some homework before going out to the house, and you absolutely should use the script to pre-screen them. And no, you don't have to get no money down. That's what your goal is, but just because they want some money, you always ask what's the least they'll take and try to work with that. And so you want to have all this information on the first call using the script where Ron takes you through the closing call script, and then if they are interested in doing terms, then he takes you to the $1 million script, which is all in a script guide where you just ask a few questions, which is what's the least they'll take for the house, and what's the least they'll take monthly, or you're going to make their payment, and then of course how long. And so you asked a question of the monthly. Well, the monthly, how do you know if it's a deal? You're going to find out if they already have a payment. You're going to base that payment on what it will rent for. So obviously if they have a payment for $2,200, you want to make sure that it'll rent for more than that. So you're trying to see.
You're
Okay.
confusing me.
Well, he asked how you know if it's a
Jay, what's your
deal
answer?
before you go out to the
What's your
house. And
answer?
so.
Well, before we go out and look at a house, we want to determine, does it make sense to go
Absolutely.
look? So how do we determine does it make sense? What's the information that we want to get before we go look? Well, I definitely want to know what's the value of the house based on comps.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. Is this before you go look?
Yes.
Before we
he
go
said-
look.
he
Or
said
before you call the seller?
No,
That was the question.
The question was before he goes to the house.
Is that the question, Matt?
Yep, when making the decision to go to a seller's home.
Okay, then they've already talked to the seller. All right.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, sure. You need the facts if you're gonna go talk to the seller. And ARB is the big one. And frankly, you don't have to do any research to see, here's the payment, here's what I think I can rent it for. But honestly, there ain't much else you need to know.
Well, honestly, when you're going out to the seller's house, you want to take an agreement with you. Hopefully, you're going to get that filled out. So you want to know what you're going to put on the agreement. So you kind of want to know all the facts to know that it's a deal. Of course, you'll discuss it with them there.
I never leave home without them.
Exactly. So you
my
want to be
briefcase.
prepared so you know the deal.
And in fact, you should fill out all of the agreement you can based on your conversation and just leave the blanks that need to be filled in with anything you need to negotiate. That way you're not sitting at their kitchen table for an hour trying to figure out what this thing says.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Do your homework and be prepared. All right, moving on to the next two questions. They're both from Robert, who's up in Oregon.
Hey, Robert.
Robert says, what programs should I purchase after purchasing and using the house pretty house terms program? There are so many of them that a person can get lost and confused.
Well, Robert, you didn't tell me if you bought the terms off of our webinar, you've already got the ugly house course and the rehab and retailing course. For those.
I can answer this, Ron.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rob, I think it was. if you have the terms course, I can tell you what you need to do next, your next
Yes.
step. Do exactly what I did all the way back in 2009. You need to get enrolled, and you want to get enrolled in Quick Start. That's where we are here. The Quick Start training is the foundational training that's going to give you the foundation for all of this business.
Yeah.
So you ask an excellent question, and that is, there's so many courses, what do I do next? Well, when you get to Quick Start, you are going to get all that foundational training to get you started. There's your easy answer. Do what I did.
Absolutely.
Yes, because without the training, you're never going to start implementing.
Correct.
It's kind of like trying to get to college and skip high school, a miserable time succeeding. So always training always comes first, no matter what business it is. And then when you get out of the training, if you want, we can put you with a one-on-one mentor to help you implement, take the pressure off of you, and let you get checks while you're being mentored. All the other courses that I have, frankly, are irrelevant if you don't go through those courses.
Yes.
Because they don't tell you how to buy and sell houses, they tell you how to do a piece of it. Jay's got a course on private lending. He's a national expert on private lending. Well, you don't need to know about private lending if you don't know how to buy a house or sell a house without using your money or credit yet. So first things first. The time you get through this event that we're in right now, you'll have more than you can do, and you'll have all the information you need to go out there and generate leads and get deals. And then when you get out in the field, you'll learn a lot more, and then you start adding pieces that you think you might need, such as getting private money. And there's several others. I've got all kinds of courses. I've got courses on structuring your empire, mastering the phone, buying and selling with owner financing. I can't even remember them all.
Selling on work for equity.
You ain't gonna need any of that until you get the basics going to get out there and start making some offers and buying some houses.
So you can find that schedule on ronlegrand.com calendar. The next Quick Start is going to be here in Jacksonville again in November.
Mm-hmm. That's right, November 14th through the 17th, I believe.
So we hope to see you there.
That's right, Robert. Get to the Quick Start School.
In case you guys don't know it, this guy down here at the end has rehabbed 450.
We're knocking on 500.
Knocking
Wow.
on 500 houses in between 2009 and now.
Yeah.
Hasn't netted less than $1 million a year from year one. Is now
From
netting-
coming to Quick Start.
Yes.
now netting over $2 million. And he does terms deals on the side, and then he's got a whole business of teaching private lending. I just want you to take a good look at him. He ain't all that smart.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah, he can do it. I know you can do it. All right. It was an opportunity.
Thank you very much.
He took advantage.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Robert's next question is, hey Ron, now that we are in a recession, do you think you will temporarily lower the monthly $59 fee that we pay for the Gold Club for those of us on tight budgets, then raise it again when the recession is over?
You have got to be kidding me. $59 for everything you get on that website. Are you joking? I should be getting 10 times that right now. Man, especially what's happening here, Barbara? Our students brought in, 58 leads? That's all. And she's been on the phone by herself for the last 2 days. She's already got 7 deals out of 58
Yes.
Gold Club leads.
Yes.
And some of them are really good deals. So $59. Oh God, give me a break.
Yeah, I thought you liked that one.
If you're worried about that, you probably need to go get a job.
It's awesome, and I don't know if you know, but the Gold Club lead provides you, the Gold Club service provides you leads, so you get leads. And
For your $59.
yes, and that's the cheapest way you'll ever get any leads.
And all my forms and agreements and a massive amount of videos on every subject you can think about. It's the best
Absolutely.
bargain in real estate today.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all right, there you go, Robert. Moving on to the next one. We
No
have...
couch monitor?
I thought you liked that question.
I don't think he liked the answer.
It was a good answer. All right, our next question is from Lacie, who's out in Texas. Lacie says, I think I sent the criteria sheet to the VAs for only $300,000 higher, if I remember correctly. Over a year ago, I sent to them when it was a requirement to send them when I started the VA service. I think the reason I said $300,000 and higher was because I remember Ron mentioning with terms you only want 200,000 or higher. But now I think I am limiting all the cheap wholesale deals I
you
could be
are.
doing.
Absolutely.
Glad you figured that out.
Yeah, because
You know, look, I target cheap houses for wholesale deals and rehabs, and I target higher priced houses for terms, which I don't care where you target, you're gonna get some of both in your search, so you need to be able to handle them all. I would never say that I want houses that are over $3,000 or $300,000 and up. And by the way, that's area specific, okay?
but in Texas, you know, the average price home's got to be that. So
I can't
she's
even answer
really
that because it depends on where you're at in Texas.
exactly. So you're really limiting your market. You're really limiting the leads that are coming into you. You need to just probably put no cap, no minimum on it. And you need to raise that 300 to more. Make sure you're just not asking
No,
for
just
300.
just don't put a number there. Take all the leads you
Yes.
can get in your two counties. That's all you need to do.
Right.
You don't need to screen them. Screen them after you get them.
All right, perfect. Yeah, you just read her mind. She was going to ask the recommending criteria, and you guys just gave it to us.
All right, I'm smart.
Well, Jay's not all that smart, remember?
Oh. All right, guys, we've come to our last question of the day. This one's from David, who is up and out in Ohio. David says, I'm a CPA and I have a client who has a rental property that is currently vacant and in need of repairs. The property is about 1 hour north of where I live, has an R of $175,000 and needs approximately $40,000 in repairs, and a Mayo of $82,500. The seller is asking $90,000. The house is owned free and clear, and the seller would like for the house to either be sold to a homeowner who has the ability to fix it up themselves, or fixed up by an investor and resold to a homeowner. The seller wants to avoid having a renter in the property out of respect for the neighbors. At this time, the seller also would like to sell outright with no terms of any sort.
Okay, so it's an all-cash deal,
Mm-hmm.
and my calculation says that the Mayo's a little high. I mean, it's over Mayo they're asking.
Right.
Not that much over Mayo. All right.
They're asking 90 and Mayo, I think he said was 82.
Yeah, 82.5.
Which I did not check the math in my mind. So if that's the case, I think I would probably put it under contract, get them down to 80, and then put it out and wholesale it for 95, maybe even 100, because it'll go.
By the way, this question triggers this lesson that I learned long ago, and that is regardless as to what a seller is asking, or if the seller is saying, I won't take a penny less than X, here's the bottom line I've learned. A seller really doesn't know what they're going to accept until you make the offer.
Absolutely correct.
Period. I've got, just this week, there's a house in our area. Here's exactly what the seller said to my acquisitionist. The seller said, you're going to pay me $200,000 or I'll let it sit there and rot. That's what they said. So the offer I made, all cash, $175,000 and close in 3 weeks with private money. Well, I guess they decided not to let it sit there and rot because now it's under contract to buy for $175,000.
Imagine
$25,000 less than I'll let it sit there and rot, quote unquote.
If you got a pencil on you right now, write this down. The whole world is full of crap.
Including the sellers.
Especially the sellers. You can't believe what they tell you until you get something in front of them to actually make a decision over. You don't know what they'll take and what they won't take.
And they don't either. Even though they've
They
said
don't
it.
either. That's right. They don't know what they want. Until you give them
So
two choices.
the lesson is make offers, make offers, make offers.
And then follow up on the ones that tell you no, because sooner or later they're going to say yes. They're going to sell it first.
Absolutely.
And that's another big lesson right there. The money's in the follow-up. So in the Gold Club, one of the Gold Club levels, Ron's got an amazing follow-up system, CRM, called Dreams. And in Dreams, you actually task yourself as to when you're going to be following up next. I tell you, Ron, it makes me sick to think about how many deals I probably lost and did lose because I didn't have a systemized follow-up system in place. And you know, I've heard you say it 1,000 times, life and circumstances changes people's situations, and the seller that won't sell to you today might sell to you 30 days from now or tomorrow.
There ain't an investor alive that has done follow-up the way they should.
He's absolutely right. One of the deals that I got for the students, it was dated August 24th. Today's October 18, 19, whatever. And so the point is, it was a Zillow lead, and
One that you got down here.
absolutely.
Look at that.
So
3-month-old lead.
they weren't interested before, they were now. And so the other thing is, on that Mayo formula, you better make sure you base it on real accurate comps and not just take some Zillow's estimate, because you might find it's worth more. So you gotta have some accurate numbers.
Perfect, guys.
Long answer to a short question.
That's a great answer.
That's some good lessons.
Yeah.
It's a lesson, we should give them all.
So that's all the questions we got.
That's
now?
all we have for
Oh,
today.
done. All right. See you guys next week. And happy Halloween if you miss next week. All right.
See you next
Bye.
time.